Welcome to the No Limits podcast with your host, Willy.
Welcome back to the No Limits with Willy podcast YouTube show. I have a good friend on from Truth or Theory. She became famous from our podcast. It's so huge that nobody knew her before that. But once we got into Marilyn Monroe, she's a household name. Welcome to the podcast, Carlisle Forrester.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was my big break. I have to hand it to you.
I know. I do that for a lot of celebrities. You like that I can say your name now, too? It's amazing.
It's amazing. You nailed
right?
it. Yeah. And I like that you're giving back, to us little people. You're giving us a chance.
Yeah, I try. I got to remember where I started, so it's important. Got to help everybody trying to come up. So, Carlisle, what's been going on? You got your own show here for the Hang on YouTube. Probably
yes,
going to be
do.
Audio soon, it sounds like.
Yeah. So, right now, my studio is my studio apartment. So you hear this truck happening right now? It's just great for broadcasting. I was like, you know what? This is too good of a situation. I live on an app. I need to start a podcast that captures all of this.
The heart of LA.
This Michigas, if you will. Yeah, I live in Kuwait, basically. They're calling it Skid Row 2 on Citizen app. I just found that out this week.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's been pretty gnarly ever since the protest and the race riots and everything that's just been happening. It's getting rough here in LA. A lot of people are leaving town. It's shocking to me. Like, people that are leaving town are shocking.
Why do you say that?
Just like with the whole, Joe Rogan announced he's leaving. I was watching the Joey Diaz podcast today. He's out.
He's leaving too?
Full announcement today. He's out, dude.
Where's he going?
Back to Jersey, I guess. I think a lot of those guys have homes in other places. So it's like, why not?
Nice.
Because LA is just, it really has the vibe of just the apocalypse.
Yeah, I get that from social media.
And the zombies walking around are the homeless people. And it really is like a zombie. You see them coming, and this coronavirus is looming. No mask, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. You ever seen that South Park episode where they bring the homeless from Denver to, or South Park, Colorado to California?
No, but that is an idea that I've always had. Like, there's so many places in middle America where there's like dying towns and there's tons of land and houses are like, $10,000, like big. Why can't they bus people out that want to like rehabilitate and like, get into some of these towns and revive them? But then no town is going to want like a bus load of California meth heads coming in. But
yeah, that's the
it's a nice idea.
You have the drug abusers in there too. Yeah, people.
I don't know what the solution is. I just know that it's, with this pandemic, it's getting out of control. It's more in your face than it's ever been. And I've lived in Los Angeles, on and off for a long time. Mm-hmm. And, you're used to certain degrees of it. But this is on another level.
How far away?
Kardashian. This is on another level.
Oh, you got those impressions too, huh? Your Britney impression's spot on. I didn't know you had a Kardashian one too.
Oh, yeah. I got them all. Paris.
Oh, we're going to get into those because I love impressions. So we have to do that before this episode's over. How far away are you from the original Skid Row?
I'm pretty far from downtown. It's...
So that's downtown LA?
Yeah, and I rarely ever go. I went, sorry, I can hear something. Technical difficulties, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is much better. I thought I was working with this mic. So I went downtown recently to do a shoot for like a PSA about wearing masks. This is the first time I've been down there in forever. And we're like waiting around to shoot this scene. And it has gotten so bad. And we were in the nice part of downtown, like the first scene was shot up in this like beautiful loft that had a rooftop overlooking all of downtown LA. Like it was a money spot. But my point is, even if you live in the nicest area of downtown, you still have to walk out of that building to walk your dog or walk to your car or whatever. And it is getting to the point where, I mean, it's 6 to 1, homeless people to
Damn.
you. And they're all just out and about. And that's not Skid Row. That's the nice part. That's
Wow.
the, like, creme de la creme of downtown.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I'm not used to much of that. I've been around a little bit of it in New Orleans and when I go into Denver for a meeting stuff. But man, the homeless thing, I can run out of money fast being around those people because
I
I'm
know.
this stupid guy that gives them cash every time. They
New
give me a
Orleans
sad
was the
story.
first time I remembered it because that was the first time I saw it as a kid. I would go there with my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to the point where I would want like my little fanny pack. I had like a Ninja Turtles fanny pack that my dad would just give me ones and quarters because he knew, that I was going to want to every time I saw homeless people because that was my first experience with it. Not just homeless people, but the people that are busking in the streets, playing music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like learning that the lesson for the first time of the difference and like the way you give the money. My parents were like, if you're going to go put $1 in the guitar player's case, like, sit for a second and like listen to his song and like tell him thank you. And if you're going to give it to the homeless person, you can give it to them, you can look them in the eyes, but you keep moving, because they're trying to tell me as a kid, like, don't stop and pet the guy's dog if you can. That always gets me when they have a dog.
I
If
know
you have a
that's
dog and you're
part of
homeless,
the
you're getting a
strategy.
5 instead of a 1 every time.
They know that. Man, I'm seeing a lot of them up here too they're using dogs and kids all the time too. It's sad.
In
I know.
Colorado,
Yeah. They every intersection that's busy up here, it seems like there's at least one beggar there, and they all have strategic little setups. I don't know if they're genuine. I sat down and waited for I think an oil change or something the other day. Not the other day, it was a few months ago. And I was watching this one guy from a distance, and he had his bag and his little sign and everything. And then he stopped, and another guy walked up to him, and they swapped spots, like they were on a shift change. Like they're
oh
professionals.
shit,
I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So
they had a
some of
little
them,
scam running.
yeah, a lot of them are scammers that are just running that
Well,
shit
do y'all
as
have a
beggars.
freeze on your rent out there like we do? Like because of coronavirus and all that, they're saying they can't evict people right now. Are they
Yeah,
doing that there?
I don't know. We're homeowners. Thankfully, I'm not sure how that all works, but
Yeah,
I
you're
haven't looked this.
lucky.
Yeah, well, if I can keep
The,
paying for my house.
well, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how that works. I would assume that it's kind of a nationwide thing, but that could be different. I don't know.
Um,
Crazy ass times we're living in for sure.
it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild times. I I'm sorry if you can hear that. I literally live on Bum Alley.
Oh, that was outside.
Yeah. Sorry. But it's crazy times. We're doing all this from home, essentially. That's why I started my show. I love that you're doing your show because it doesn't even matter that you're in Colorado because now the entertainment industry is everywhere. That's
Right.
what this is going to do, which is really cool. And with all those comedians leaving, maybe, some comedy scenes will pop up in Austin and pop up in St. Louis and pop up in all these other places, and not just be so focused on New York and LA. And
Right.
God, they've got to do something about just like the cost of living here. I hope this all just like makes that bubble kind of burst where they see that they can't just continue on.
Yeah. Where are you at with that? Do you have any desire to leave too and go live somewhere else?
No, I'm going to go visit back home. I'm going to Mississippi for a month next week. I'm so excited. That's just to like get out in nature and
Hmm.
be, because I can't here. I don't even have an outdoor space at my place. And
That would drive me nuts.
I know it's like before all this happened, my apartment has always been, I just want the smallest place. It's where I throw my stuff because I need to be out. I need to be hustling. I don't need to be at home sitting and watching Netflix. So like
Hmm.
I never wanted my place to be that comfortable because that would make me be out and be busy. And now I see whenever everything's stripped away from you, your home is all you have and it should be a sanctuary. And I'm so mad at myself that I didn't even get a place with like so much as a balcony, you know, because it just, you need sunshine. And
Yeah.
they're like quarantine, stay home. I'm like, fuck that. I'm hiking, I'm biking because I feel trapped like I'm in a little box. And so my theory is if I go to Mississippi, at least I can, you know, ride my bike and swim and go to the lake and do all those things.
Yeah. I've been able to do that the whole quarantine for the most part. Some of our places that we go to, like the Rocky Mountains, Estes Park was closed down. But there's so much access around here to go hiking and do all kinds of.
Oh, yeah. You're
We love it.
in the
And I-
center.
Yeah, I have to have that. I would lose my mind. I don't know how you guys are handling that in those kind of environments.
I go to Running Canyon every day, and it's just a piece of shit dog park in the middle of the city, but it's a mountain that I climb daily, and it just, the endorphins of that, I have to have it or I go crazy,
Yeah.
honestly. And I'm about to take up biking. Like, I bike around my neighborhood all the time, but I think I want to be one of those girls, like, biking on the side of the beach with, like, the helmet and the biker shorts, like, full out by the Pacific Ocean. That's going to be my new hobby if this thing doesn't lift. Because guess what? Comedy ain't happening right now. So everybody's got to get themselves a hobby.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too. Last time we talked to you on Truth or Theory, you were getting started with the virtual stand-up type stuff. How's that going?
Yes.
And are you getting any money from it or?
Yeah, you get money, but it's just not the same. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's so rusty right now. I feel rusty. And the only way to get better is to have the audience. The audience is your barometer that teaches you. And if you don't have them, your jokes are not going to be great. And none of us have had that. And so, and that's the biggest fear. It's like, I do not want to start to suck. So, because all these people that have been doing it for, 10, 15 years, they're going to be fine. But us newbies, it's an important muscle to work constantly. And if there's no mics, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, just do stand up to my Twitch people. I have 2 followers there. Go check it out. I have
You
done
heard
that
Mom?
before.
My mom's my only follower, so she'll go check it out.
Oh my gosh. I have a show Saturday in a park.
Really? Like outside?
Yeah, outside in an amphitheater. I mean, but again, none of these things are real gigs, It's just, it's an opportunity to practice. The Zoom shows I don't like so much, but this I love. I love YouTube. YouTube's great. It's fucking always been there. Like, how do we just discover this?
Yeah,
It took
no,
a quarantine.
We're both late to the game.
Well, we're late to the game, but you know what? Fuck it, because everybody's on YouTube. It's like this thing has leveled the playing field, and it's thinning the herd, quite honestly, because there's a lot of people giving up right now,
Yeah.
And I, as somebody that's left LA before and like learned my lesson, I just want to stick it out this time. I'm going to go to Mississippi for a vacation. I'm not going to move there. I couldn't.
If you were to move to another state, which state would you go to?
I could see myself doing like a St. Louis or, obviously it's a dream to live in New York one day. Whenever all this comes back, I wouldn't do it now, but I wouldn't want to live in New York unless I had a lot of money.
Yeah, I could never live there. That shit scares me. I'm scared of big cities.
It's
The
wild.
concrete jungle is too much for me. I'm a
I
country
know.
girl. Country girl at heart.
Oh,
Let's get into some controversial stuff. I know you had that Chris D'Elia take video that you did on Here for the Hang. It blew up. It went viral. It was really cool.
yeah.
It's cool to see that I got somebody out there and got them famous, and then now they're doing more stuff, and it's just makes me feel good. It brings it back to the heart.
Well, that was so wild because that's not even usually on Here for the Hang on the YouTube show. It's much more like, I either interview a comedian or I'm doing jokes or monologues. That Chris D'Elia rant was actually more for the Patreon, which you guys should all go check out on my patreon.com/Here for the Hang. And I was just kind of talking about that article that came out. And my producer / boyfriend was like, no, you should put this out. Like, this people need to hear this right now because nobody was talking. Do you remember that? Like,
Yeah, it
no
was silent.
comics were saying anything. And as somebody that I think you're the same way. Just like we just ingest these podcasts as soon as they come out, and we're like, content. Oh, what are they going to say about this, that? There was no new podcast. There was no new. So my thing just got into the algorithm, like when it got posted, and it was like number 5th on YouTube. And then everybody that was reaching out to me was really in support of Chris. And it blew me away because it made me see that his fans did not cancel him. The comedians canceled him pretty much instantaneously based off of allegations, which we now know later came to be disproven because he never even met the women in the story. So he and the emails were doctored, and his people have now released the rest of the emails, but you don't even hear about that. It's all already been done. The show's been taken. And there's a lot of fans out there that are outraged because, I mean, the most surprising DMs I got were from women that were actual sexual assault victims, because I wouldn't think that they would be in support of what I said, but they were, because
that's cool.
Real victims of sexual assault also get angry whenever women claim things happen and use the word assault and rape, which are really big words to throw around, and now get thrown around about somebody that you actually never met, which is just wild.
Takes the fire
And
out of the real problem.
Yeah, and I had girls reach out and say, like, thank you, because these women are the ones that take it away from the real focus, which is the real victims, which I agree with.
Yeah, I do too.
You know?
That's cool that they were doing that. We were just teaching my daughters last night about the Boy Who Cried Wolf story, this classic.
Yes.
So they understood, because my girls go through like fits where they just whine about the dumbest stuff. I'm like, you want us to take you serious when you're whining, you got to stop whining for shit that doesn't matter. You need to whine when it actually matters, because my oldest girl was complaining that her leg hurts. And I'm like, we don't really care. We hear you cry about everything.
Right,
it's hard to
right.
take you serious when you just cry about everything constantly, and everything's a big ordeal. So I said, told my wife to tell the story to it, and we kind of just both went back and forth telling them. And you could see like a little light bulb went off in their head, but they're slow learners. They're just like me.
I love that, though. I
Yeah.
remember the first time I heard that story.
Yeah.
Squealing my head off at the beach.
Yeah, it's an
And my
important thing.
parents told me that story because they were like, other people around here are going to think that you're hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that is the way you teach kids that, is that story.
Yeah, they go in the backyard. We have chickens now that we raise in the backyard, and they'll try to catch them, and something will happen.
Chickens?
Yeah, it's fun.
And they get flogged? I've gotten flogged trying to catch a chicken before.
Yeah, well.
Where they jump on your head and they go like this.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. They don't get hurt by the chickens. They usually get hurt by something stupid. Like they'll get the dog excited and he'll run past them and knock them over, or they'll get cut on a thorn or something, and then something becomes a big ordeal, and they make a loud noise in the backyard, and it's like you make our neighbors think something's wrong with you.
The neighbors think we're beating you. Please
yeah, it sounds
stop.
terrible. Like, if you're gonna have a problem, have a real problem, because when they do happen, we're not gonna take you serious on it. But they love those chickens, so they're so routine with them and checking on them and letting them out when they're supposed to, feeding them when they're supposed to. It's really cute. I love it. So we got them for eggs. We're gonna eat them when shit hits the fan.
Now, do your kids? Do the girls listen to Britney?
No, I don't. They don't even know who Britney Spears is. I don't think, because it's just an older generation. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't hear it anymore, I guess.
They're stuck on this little girl named JoJo Siwap.
Yes.
With a bow on her head.
I've heard she's all the rage. You're having her on next week, right?
My daughters would freak out, but no.
You're going to launch her career as well now.
Yeah, I mean, she probably could use a little help from you. But what are you going to do?
You give her that boost, you know.
I can't help too many females in 1 year. I got to spread it out and help some men too. This guy,
well, they get such a bad rap these days.
Yeah. There's this guy that's coming out right now, Sam Tripoli, spitting all the real news. I helped get him started too. So.
Yes.
Shout out to Sam.
I love Sam.
Yeah,
I love.
We're big fans of him.
He's just the best. He's very entertaining.
He's basically the main reason JP and I started Truth or Theory, because we were fans of his podcast, and we're like, we should do one like that too. It's like
You guys are an offshoot of Tinfoil Hat.
We're Sam's Choice equate value of Tinfoil Hat.
Love it.
Pantry Market. Is that Target's Pantry Market? Their own brand.
I'm not
So
sure.
let's go into that Britney talk.
Let's do it.
What the hell is going on with Britney Spears, Carlisle?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is the thing. I have been following her for a really long time on Instagram, and I've kind of seen this decline. I mean, you used to see her running around her beige compound in Vegas, which looks like a suite at Caesars that's from 1985 that's never been updated. And the lights are never on, and she's just spinning around. Now, you used to see her kids in these videos, and it was like, oh, look, she's living her life, like she's frolicking in the backyard. Little, little cuckoo, but whatever, she seems really happy. You have not seen those children in those videos in a long time. And I think something is up. And the longer that you don't see the children, the kookier and kookier those videos got, to the point where we're seeing what we're seeing now. And it's like, is she talking to us in code? The yellow shirt thing, I guess I'll tell your audience about that. So
Yeah,
Brittany
explain it to my mom.
was acting in a way that was just kind of crazy, like dancing around or whatever. And somebody commented in the comments and they said, Brittany, if you are in trouble, wear a yellow shirt in your next post. And in her next post, she's in a bright yellow shirt and she's twirling around doing the same stuff. And in the caption, she's like, just hanging out in my favorite yellow shirt, like all full in, in capital letters, and yellow hearts and flowers. And people took that to be a major sign, right? Because so this is the thing. If you remember, she freaked out in the early 2000s and was put on conservatorship. A conservatorship means that her dad, is it Jamie, her dad?
Yeah.
Jamie
Okay.
Spears. I blanked for a second because her sister's Jamie Lynn too.
Yeah.
But
strange.
he is her conservator. He's in charge of all of her money, all of her. She doesn't even have, like, she basically gets an allowance, like she's a child. Now, I have friends that work in psych, and you don't just get put on conservatorship. That's not a light thing. So as crazy as we think that she was, like, oh my God, she shaved her head and she beat that thing with an umbrella. No, 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 no. She did something that we do not know about and will never know about, because that is the most serious. Conservatorship is the end of the line. Like, it's like getting 5150. It's like you're crazy. And they don't deem you crazy unless you did something really crazy. But see, now they're saying, like, the Free Britney movement is claiming, like, hey, maybe she's not that crazy. And maybe she's under her dad's lock and key, and she's in trouble. But why are her kids being held from her? See what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
something we don't know. Because if you go on Kevin Federline's Instagram, the kids are there. It's not just that they keep the kids off of social media. Some celebrities don't want the
Right.
kids on social media. It ain't that. Because he posts them on everything. He's got them.
Yeah.
When K-Fed is the normal parent,
I forgot
like,
about him in this
something's
situation.
up. I mean, he's the dad to those boys. But I saw something, again, I should have pulled it up so I could have it readily available, but I believe there is a restraining order against the dad, that the boys have, like, the K-Fed was like, I don't want her dad around the boys. And that's part of the Free Britney movement too, because it's like her dad might be kind of an abusive guy.
The situation with her eyeliner too and the eyelashes. Did you see that stuff?
I just really want somebody to hold that girl down with a cotton ball and some eye makeup remover. What is happening?
Yeah.
What
But did you
is
see
that?
the theory about the messages in her eyelashes?
No.
This is
Okay, now
crazy.
you're getting, did you hear this on Tinfoil Hat? No, tell
Uh,
me.
I might have, but yeah, I did look into it. And if you look at one of the images, I think it's the one with her yellow shirt. The bottom of her eyes like right here in the eyelashes. If you look at it close, zoomed in, one eye says call and the other one says 911 in the eyelashes.
No way.
Yeah, and it's very, very much there. Like it's hard to deny. You have to like really zoom in, but I don't know if it's like reaching, but man, with all the other shit that's going on with that, the yellow shirt thing, and then her eyelashes saying that, and I think there was
Listen.
another picture that had something in it too.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
just pulled this up. This is from 2019.
Okay.
We have one from Newsweek, one from Fox News. This was heavily reported. I mean, they have Britney Spears' two sons, Sean Preston Federline and Jaden James Federline, have been granted a restraining order against their grandfather, Britney's dad, Jamie Spears, over an alleged physical altercation involving Sean Federline and his grandparent. Sean Federline, who's that?
Is that Kevin's real name?
Oh, the two sons. That's one of the sons. So basically, they got into it physically, and now there's a restraining order. So she can't even see her own children because of something that her dad did. That's
ties
fucked.
back into the what is it
That's
called?
fucked. And this is a really weird one too.
Vader
The
shit?
eyelashes one is pretty weird. Do you have a picture of that?
I could pull it up and I'll add it on this video too. Let's see.
Do
Give
you
me
think it's a
second.
deep fake?
It could be. I don't know what to believe with anything anymore, Carlisle. The whole world's full of fake shit.
And
Everything.
anybody can put anything on the internet and just
I know.
run with it, you know?
Well, this image is straight from her Instagram. If you do it, I'm gonna pull it up straight from her Instagram.
Pull it up,
Let
zoom
you be
in.
the judge, and I'll upload the actual image.
And where's her mom? You know, you used to see
Yeah, she used to be really tight with her mom.
she'd post pictures of her mom. Her mom was always there. I mean, same with her sister. Her Instagram is basically just her rolling in and out of frame and being a kook. And she's got a hot boyfriend that's probably on a salary. I mean,
Yeah,
let's get real.
He doesn't look real. Like everything about him seems like he's just a paid model to hang out with her.
Yeah, her dad's like, look, I'll pay you X amount a week. Like, you be her boyfriend, come around, take, videos of her, fuck her. Oh my God, he's so weird.
Yeah,
Her dad's like, how big's your dick, son?
it's so twisted.
I need a stud for my girl. She's a star. Oh, I have a really good Britney story, by the way, that a comedian told me that was a friend of his that fucked Britney Spears. Okay, so I'm sorry that the story's thrice removed, but a lot of times these Hollywood stories are. So this comedian said that his friend was lucky enough to get entangled with Miss Spears one night.
Entangled? Okay.
And she was on top. She was riding him. She came. He had not yet come. She left the room, and an assistant came in and said, Miss Spears is retiring for the evening.
What the hell?
That is baller. That is some boss bitch stuff, okay?
That is boss bitch. That's awesome.
And I mean, that's how she used to roll at one time, in her heyday. But she still looks fucking amazing. I mean, the body's still banging, she's showing it off, like all that's still there. If we could wipe under her eyes a little bit.
And another thing that's strange too, while I'm looking for this picture, it reminded me that most of her videos and pictures are like there's like 4 or 5 outfits, and she's cycling through the same ones. And people are saying these are all from the same day of shooting, like they're all shot in the same day, and they're just being recycled. That she doesn't.
It
even
does
have
seem like that. She's always got on the
control
same
over Instagram.
necklace.
Yeah.
It's like you're a billionaire. You probably have a closet full of necklaces. Is it really puka shells again today, Brett? Really? This was like, just, I don't know. All of it is just really nutty.
The twirling too. We've talked about that before. I don't know if it was on the podcast or privately, but she spins in every video like a kid. Like, because my girls do this too. They all dance. They have like 4 moves, and they just cycle through them over and over. And she's dancing like a little kid, like just spinning in circles.
She is like a little kid. I mean, okay, so I have another Hollywood story for you.
Love it.
There was a time when my best friend was a bartender at, what was that place called? It's a Hollywood Athletic Club now, but it used to be this other nightclub. I can't think of the name right now.
LA Sports Club.
What?
LA Sports Club.
LA Sports Club. Really?
Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know. But anyway, it was on Hollywood Boulevard. It used to be the banging spot. And my friend was a bartender there. And Britney was coming in with her entourage. And she was coming in, and it was like everybody was making such a big deal about it. It had these big glass windows and glass doors in the front. And people were like pounding to get out at her. Like the crowd was just going crazy. It was like flash, flash, flash. And my friend said that she just seemed so scared. She just seemed so like a little girl and like terrified. And she came up to the bar and she was like, "Can I get you anything?" She was going to get her a drink, but she goes, "Do y'all sell cigarettes here?" And she goes, "No, we don't sell cigarettes here." And then she kind of like looked out at like all the outside, like just craziness. And my friend said she could tell like she can't go out and like get a pack of cigarettes, you know? And my friend's like, "Hey, do you want me to like take a break and go get you some cigarettes?" And she's like, "Yes, oh my God, that would be so great. Marlboro Reds."
Of course.
Gave her the money. And my friend went across the street to 7-Eleven and she got her cigarettes and she got her a blow pop because, again, she's like, she seems like a child. Like she seems like a little girl. So she put it in a bag and she handed it to her and she opened the bag and she saw the sucker and she was just like, "Thank you," to my friend. And she was just like so sweet and cute. And again, this is like 15 years ago. This is so long ago, not to date myself. But
Like, no.
I just feel like whatever age you get famous at, you're stuck at that age. Think of
You think
it.
that's what it is?
Yes, she got famous with
Mickey Mouse Club.
Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, 12 or 13, but really even before that, because she was on Star Search whenever she was like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you start doing that and you're entering into this Hollywood world that young, it's a mind fuck. And you gotta really have parents that navigate it well. And I don't think that hers did, obviously.
Yeah.
Like we got a restraining order out against the grandkids at this point.
Man, if you think about that theory, that really ties in with Michael Jackson's life too, because he was a star from
Oh,
childhood,
absolutely.
and his whole existence was bizarre.
And that's why he wanted to build the amusement park and play with the chimps and all that, because he was stuck at that age.
And he was severely abused by, was it Joe Jackson, his dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't think of it that way. Mine's, of course, on the deep end. I thought she was cloned.
Well, you
and
were
that's
the
why
first
she-
person that told me that, and I said that on another podcast, and they just laughed so hard. But I mean, that's a theory that's out there, yeah. That those little spins are actually robotic.
Yeah. Do you know about the song that she released, Mona Lisa? How that all played out?
No.
So she
Oh,
had
the one whenever she was like, "I'm going to go to K-Rock and play this
Yeah.
song, my new song." Yes, I've heard about this, but tell it.
Yeah.
Tell it to your listeners.
That's pretty much the situation. She kind of surprise showed up at a small radio show with a track, and it's called Mona Lisa. And I got the lyrics right here, but the course of it originally was, "She's the original, she's unforgettable, she wants you to know she's been cloned." And they changed it a couple years ago or a few years ago to "She's been gone." And it was clear as day clone when it first came out.
Wow.
And the whole thing is about basically her telling her her fans and everything that the Britney is no longer there. It's a clone now. And that whole cloning shit is crazy, man. If you go into that rabbit hole, it will definitely suck you in.
So where's the real Britney then?
Dead, probably.
Dead?
That's usually what the case is in these situations. A celebrity doesn't comply with the Illuminati. And
Okay,
what-
but can I just ask, because I don't know much about cloning. So if somebody's a
I don't either.
clone, and I know you do,
And I'm an expert on clones. I have a PhD in cloning.
if somebody is cloned,
I feel like I should have a British accent for this question.
you could try it out.
All right, here
If
we go.
somebody is cloned, does that clone have the wherewithal and the brain space to even say something like that? Like to even be like, "Hey, I'm a clone." Like
Well,
they have brains like that? Like she's like, there's an old Britney, or Wouldn't the clone just not be aware that there was an old Britney?
That's a good
That's what,
question. It's a good thing that you asked me that, because in the typical cloning situation, the clone leaves a little sketch on here. Britney was here, and then leaves a little note for the new clone, so the clone can tell you,
oh my
yes, this is
God.
not the real Britney. I don't know. This is a good question because that goes into my whole thing too, where I'm confused about cloning about spirits. Because I believe in spirits, I believe in energy. I think
Absolutely.
we're not just a shell that's just running off of whatever. My headphones won't sit on my ears right. We definitely have a spirit. We have an energy that gives us who we are and individuality. I think our bodies are just shells, basically, that are hosting our spirits. And a clone, how the hell do you clone a spirit? I can see the cloning, the physical side of it, the science behind that. Supposedly it's been going on since the 40s,
Yeah.
with cloning. But that's just my opinion. I'm an expert on this subject. And
Well,
um,
you don't sound like it anymore without that accent.
oh, I'm sorry.
Where'd it go?
You see, the difference is with cloning.
Oh, now I buy it. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
If you want to trust anybody's opinion, they have to have a British accent. Science.
Absolutely.
That's why all commercials have British accents.
No, but I think the spirit, if you cloned it, or at least the vibrations, because we're all made of like energy and atoms and vibrations. So yeah, those go somewhere else. Like that's
Memory too. Memory is its own thing, and that would tie into memory. Like, how does the clone have the memory of the original body of Britney? Like, well, how does that all work?
they just downloaded it. They just put a little chip in that was like,
That could happen.
a mixtape of her videos. That's really all she needs to know. They're like, this guy directed this one. This one was on this date. Blah blah blah. Here's where you were for 9/11. She's like, cool, got it.
Give me a lollipop and watch me spin.
Dear
Crazy.
Miss Brittany. I mean, she was reading her fan mail, and those are the ones I love. Anytime she speaks, because it's an
Did you see
opportunity for
the
me to.
latest one about her answering her fans' questions?
Yes. So
So
tell me
bizarre.
about the Frozen thing. Did you hear that
Yeah,
conspiracy
I
theory?
did hear it, but I don't know much about that
She
situation.
says that her favorite movie is Frozen. And then she says that, oh my God,
The
there's
problem
a
is I don't know the movie
specific,
Frozen very well. My daughters love it, but I've never really watched it.
apparently there's like a time code associated with this one
Yeah, about
that she
something
put
with
out.
Elsa leaving and because she couldn't take any more shit or something like that. So
Yeah,
she,
and when you go to that time code in the movie, it says, please help me. If you freeze it like on the, closed captioning, and you go to that exact time code of Frozen that she names, it says, please help me.
wow.
But I gotta find the part where it says anything about a time code. Where's the favorite things?
She she says that JP, my co-host on Truth or Theory, said that he doesn't think Britney's smart enough to do all this kind of stuff, which is a good argument too. Like you have to be pretty clever unless she is sitting idle at her home as a damn prisoner. She got nothing else to do but try to think of ways to communicate her problems. Maybe she is coming up with that, and Derek Zoolander's helping her.
I mean, do you know what the thing was with the time code?
It was something with 11:30 to 12, but I don't remember where it played into her
I
video.
can't find it exactly right now, but it was wild.
So I'm thinking the way she said it was her favorite movie is Frozen, and she likes whatever her favorite part or something like that, and then that part in the show is that timestamp. So that's what that all ties to it. Does
And
that
I
make
see a
sense?
lot of celebrities reaching out to her in the comments and being like, Britt, you okay, girl? Like,
Yeah.
let's hang. I really wonder if, some of the Paris Hiltons or Lindsay Lohans or any of those, Amanda Bynes, like, people that have been through this
Hmm.
are watching this, because it seems like they would be the only ones that can help. I mean, a conservatorship has to be overturned by somebody. And where is her mom?
Yeah,
That is
that's
really
the
weird. Does
biggest
she have a
thing.
social media? It's Tina Spears.
Tina. I forgot about Kevin, so I gotta look into Kevin too because I'm completely fascinated by the whole free Britney bullshit. It's
There's a lot of Tina Spears you'd have to go through. I don't see anyone with a blue check mark though.
yeah, but she used to be with all her videos and her interviews. Her mom was like always with her.
Always with
Yeah,
her. I mean, she was
and you never saw
basically
her
her
dad much.
manager.
Hmm.
You never saw her dad. You know, I always thought she
Are
was
they still married?
estranged from him. They're not married. Yeah,
There's
it's a
some,
weird
yeah,
scene, man.
there's some legal sketchy stuff there, I'm sure, where her mom might not even be allowed to be around her because of this conservatorship agreement. There could have been something where she was tied into it too, where she's not safe to be around her mom, or her mom's not safe influencer or some shit.
All I know is, I mean, we can speculate all day long, but you just have to know that a conservatorship it's the end of the road. They don't just hand them out willy-nilly, you know? And I really think, oh, Lynn, thank you. It's not Tina Spears. See, I have false information. Thank you. My producer checks me. It's Lynn Spears. And oh my God, that's hilarious. She's a Rodan and Fields consultant. Me too, girl. Me too. Good luck slinging that. By the way, if anybody wants to buy $500 a month face care from me, reach out. I am an independent consultant.
That's a thing. Is that like the Avon lady?
It is totally the Avon lady or Mary Kay, but it's better.
It's a lot
Reach out
better.
to me, ladies. I'll hook you up.
I can tell by your complexion how much better it is.
It is. I mean, it pretty much, you know, I don't know. I'd rather invest in
some-
face cream than
Look at this
needles.
ugly mug. I need some of that. What is it called again?
It's Rodan and Fields. We'll talk after.
Oh yeah. Give me your promo code.
Yes.
So Tina is her name?
Lynn.
No,
I had
Lynn-
it so
Lynn-
wrong.
yeah,
Lynn
Tina's what you
Spears.
said. Okay, Lynn Spears. Yeah, there's
You know,
gotta
I
be
just
something.
assumed Louisiana. I was like, it's probably Tina.
Tina. Tina, come eat your dinner, you big fat boy. All right, I want to hear some more of your impressions, Miss Carlisle. So
Well,
let's
you
go through the
know,
whole list. We're gonna make a compilation of your impressions.
let's do it. So last week, I had the joy of accompanying Nikki Glazer to the Jimmy Kimmel set where she interviewed Paris Hilton.
That.
And I don't know if you guys know, but she has a documentary coming out September 14th on YouTube. That's hot.
This is dead on, 100%.
That's my Paris. It's so funny because Nikki's kind of buddies with her now, and Paris is not texting; she's sending voice memos. And you know, people do that instead. I think famous people do that because they have no way to like track anything they say. Because you know, the voice
yeah.
memos disappear.
Smart.
Like it's such a move, like a celebrity move, to just send the thing that you play because like you get it once and then it's gone. But anyway, Nikki was like, "It literally sounds like you. It sounds like an impression."
So do you
But,
do that to Nikki now? Send her Paris audio?
Yeah, she never knows which one of us it is.
That's
But
awesome. Who else do you
but
do?
there's two Parises. Like if you see in the documentary, it's funny because she has like her baby voice whenever she talks like this. But then there's also just like Paris that's like packing for Beirut and she's stressed. And she's like, "Oh my God, I have nothing but gowns to wear in Beirut. I didn't even think of that."
Do you know if she's heard your impression yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. But now that we're on the same network, aka YouTube, maybe
kinda
we
bigger than her.
can collab.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so then there's Britney, which this is all based off of the way she reads her fan mail. Dear Miss Britney, I remember going to your concert whenever I was just 14 years old with my mother. Oh, thanks, girl. My mom has now passed away of cancer, but every time I listen to that first album, I have the best memories. Thank you, and I'm sorry for your loss.
dude, that's so awesome. That's dead on.
Oh, and
I heard you do a Kardashian earlier. Can you do them all?
oh yeah, I mean they're all pretty much the same.
I
It's
only know
just
3 of them.
on another level. And Courtney, the way she used to say her dad's name, Bruce. Like she had like a slight, she'd be like, Bruce says, like it's a very slight lisp on Courtney Kardashian. It's hard to nail. And then I did have the joy of meeting Caitlyn this year. And let me tell you, she talks a lot. Caitlyn Jenner, she wants to tell you all about Kendall. And, well, you know, Kendall and Kylie, they were on the jet skis the other day. And yet, I mean,
How did you
she's
meet?
a talker.
Her.
Well, again, Nikki Glazer, not to name drop, but she's a friend of mine,
We
and
get it. You're friends with Nikki Glazer.
we get it.
God.
But she, whenever she is in LA and goes to these sets, she'll always bring me along because I'm always down. You know, it's a lot of waiting and hanging out. And Nikki
Good
just,
to have a friend there.
she would rather have a friend, you know, so she'll bring me. And it was funny because this whole day she was doing a Bert Kreischer show where they go into a cabin in the woods,
Yeah,
Caitlyn
I'm
Jenner,
familiar with
Nikki, and Bert. Is it out yet? Did it come out on
I don't
Netflix?
know if that episode's come out, but
Oh, it's
I
gonna
heard
be
of this
so
show.
good, y'all. We were in Malibu in the woods all day, and I mean, Caitlin is just so personable and so nice. I'll never have a bad thing to say about her. Oh my God, your cat is so cute. Hi. Is that your mascot?
Yeah, it is my mascot. She just jumped on my lap. She's completely deaf too. This cat's hilarious.
Aw.
Can't hear anything. You can scream at her and she just completely sleeps. So cool.
So is she talkative because she's deaf? Because
No, she actually would never. She meows very rarely.
oh, that's
Uh,
good.
Yeah, only at the other cat that we have, the big old bastard boy. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you with my.
No, that was it. Just we
Wild
spent this
pussy.
day with her, and it was just story after story, and I got to kind of like nail the impression. But I don't know if I'm nailing it now, but after that day, I was like doing it. You know, you just
Yeah.
soak it up like a sponge. But who else can I think that might be the end of the line for my
I
impressions.
doubt it. Let me name some people.
I'm gonna work on some
Let's do-
more for you.
Let's do some.
Okay, all
requests.
right. You want one? Here we go. Our good friend, our dear friend, Sam Tripoli.
You do a Sam impression?
Well, did you see the Dalia video
Yeah.
that he did?
Mhm.
I love Sam so much,
I
but
do too.
he goes, okay, listen, if he did it, he's gonna pay, okay? But the way you guys are killing this guy, you're killing him.
That's how he is. He says, "Okay, listen" a lot too. Okay, listen.
Okay, nobody's with me. Late night in the OR, just, huh? Nobody's with me.
Sam is the best.
I love it. I mean, I think he would be okay with that impression. Let's hope.
Yeah, we're trying
I
to
gotta get him on mine.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on Truth or Theory for our 50th
Oh,
episode. It's coming up soon.
that'd be amazing.
Um,
Just good luck editing that episode. It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it. We like the long ones.
I love it. I love it.
He goes.
He's
off
been
the
a
cuff.
guest on mine several times. We got to get him on here for the hang, though.
Yeah.
And the Patreon. If y'all want to really hear the candid stuff, everybody needs to go to my Patreon because patreon.com/here for the hang, because in this cancel culture day and age, that's the only place that I truly feel safe speaking. Like,
Why
I just
is
feel
that?
like if you're paying to hear me, then you're probably not there to try and cancel me.
And if
you
you
know?
are, at least you got some money off the asshole.
And
trying
at least I got your 5 bones, you know,
Yeah.
and those are already spent. So
to- yeah, take that.
it's only $5, and I do a daily podcast every day, just to kind of supplement the weekly one that's on YouTube. But it's here for the hang. Y'all check it out. I have good guests, and a lot of people are going to be more comfortable speaking, you know, on Patreon now going forward. I think comedians are all going to be doing that because it's a pitchfork society right now. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's got their pitchforks out and they're ready. They're sharpening them and they're ready to take away everything from you. I don't know what it is about comedy right now, but
Because it's raw. It's an easy target.
yeah.
People are sensitive. Apologize for the cattail cameo. Are you going to talk about Brian Callen's situation on your Patreon?
Yeah, I'll be talking about that more on my show if you want to check that out. Stevie Blue Eyes is a comedian that opens for Callan and is involved in that whole world. And he's my guest this week, so we're going to really get into this because, like me, he's known Brian for many, many years, and this is just really out of character. So you know, I'm going to get more into that
Yeah.
on the Patreon. I'm sad that the Fighter and the Kid podcast is going away because a lot of our favorite podcasts are going away because people are packing up and leaving town. I mean, the Chris D'Elia podcast had a huge following.
Yeah, it was
And
doing
all
awesome.
those millions of people have been like left in the dust. I mean, congratulations was a great show, and we miss it, you know?
Do you know if he's going to come back at all, or is he done?
I don't think they'll let him. I mean,
ridiculous.
they took away the show, you know, the news this week or last week was they took away the Netflix show that he and Callan had. I mean, his agency dropped him, not to say he's not going to get repped again. I mean, it's Chris D'Elia, but it's really wild how comedy's not even happening right now. And all this stuff is happening in the comedy world. It really doesn't even exist right now. So this is all playing out in this fake social media world. And because people can't see each other one-on-one and we don't have to pass each other in the halls at the Comedy Store right now, people are being very vicious. And it's really sad to see how quickly people turn on people that have literally put money in your pocket. Like, if you've ever performed at the Comedy Store, Chris D'Elia put money in your pocket. Like, so many people were coming there to see him. Anytime when I was a new comic and I would be doing a bringer show in the belly room, that's the only way I could get chicks to come see it. They'd be like, oh, is Chris D'Elia going to be there? I'm like, yeah, he's downstairs in the main room. They're like, okay, Carlisle, I'll come to your show. Every girl went there and they were dressed up, ready to meet him, ready to go home with these guys.
He's like this generation's Dane Cook, like same kind of attraction.
Yeah.
Younger, not younger, that sounds terrible, the situation, but
well,
the teenage and college girls and stuff all went crazy over Dane Cook.
You got to be 21 to get into these comedy clubs. So if you got a fake ID and you're lying.
Yeah, that's...
Play in the adult world, adult things happen.
Yep, good way to say it. I was trying to think of a way to say it.
You know, everybody's got to learn that lesson. Young girls, young guys. I just think it's sad to see somebody use their platform, you know, and I'm talking about some of the female comedians that have used their huge platforms to call attention to things that have not yet been proven, that are allegations. I think it's shitty, you know?
Yeah.
I believe in due process.
Yeah. And it's not like they're victims or have anything connected to it. They're just jumping in and kind of kicking them
Yeah,
down.
There's a lot of people trying to get their name out there right now with all this, you know?
With D'Elia, Callan,
it's cutthroat.
The third one would be Will Sasso, who's from the 10 Minute podcast that they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Will Sasso fan. I absolutely love that guy. If they go
and
after
when
him
is his
next,
LA Times article coming out?
Yeah, so I'm saying if they go after him next, I'm going to LA and protest.
You know, any girl could just call him up today, and he'll have one tomorrow. She could say whatever, and they'll put in quotes and say he said it. I mean, the LA Times is not even a notch above Us Weekly at this point in my eyes.
Yeah.
Just as a comedian, I'm really just disgusted with the way they've covered this whole situation.
Yeah, I am too. Do you know about the theory that's tied to Joe Rogan with all this? That they're trying to take down his posse, his little circle of people?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Play by the rules with his podcast, because his podcast is so damn powerful now.
It's so
almost
powerful.
As big as No Limits.
Yeah, it's just neck and neck, you know. After this, I mean, after I'm on, well, that'll probably
it's definitely
blow it
out. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, that one for me is very far-fetched because I don't know if Brian Callen is on a lot of people's radars that are not in comedy. And even Chris D'Elia, you know, unless you're like in this world. So I don't know if it's like a deep state hit from the right or whatever that is, that theory. But I know what you're talking about. That's the one you're referring to, right?
Yeah, basically that Rogan didn't let...
Because there was an intern at the DNC that started all this.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
We'll see. The more people come out in that circle, it's going to make it a little strange. It's going to be hard to deny it.
Look, if he did it, he's going to pay. Okay?
I want to see Joey Diaz respond to these kind of allegations. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, I mean, his responses are great. You know, he
But I'm saying if they came after him with that shit.
Oh, yeah. He's like, motherfuckers, he handled it in the best way, because he's like, oh, if you hated that video, you're really gonna hate this one, motherfuckers, and played something 10 times worse. So he just owns his shit, which is the theory that I subscribe to. I mean, God forbid if anything ever came out, like, you just have to, that's why I try to get out in front of it. I tell my shit on podcasts. I tell my funny stories on stage. Like, I'm an open book. That's what we have to be as comedians. You know, it's really weird that people are getting so mad that these comedians are degenerates. It's like, yeah, how do you think they got into this business? Like, Joey Diaz says it best. He's like, yeah, comedians do all the shit you're not supposed to know, not supposed to do. Then you can hear about it. Then you can make your fucking choice. All right? You can choose which way. Like, hear my fucked up life. And I really do think there's something to be said about, you know, as comedians, people throw around the word prophet, or like people say like Dave Chappelle's a prophet, and there's things that are happening right now through comedians, like these movements that are being started. And I do subscribe to that, like that we're here because we're the truth tellers. We're the ones that, for whatever reason, have something in our brain that we can stand up on stage and tell the truth. And because we have that, it's important to do that, you know, and tell our truth. And
with a funny spin to it.
Yeah.
So it's easy.
And if you never run out of truth, you'll never run out of funny. That's what I always say. As long as you have the ability to be truthful, it's always going to come. For me.
Yeah.
I think we've said it all.
Brendan Schaub is talking about going to Austin, following Rogan too. I think he's already looking.
I think they'll all go.
You think?
The club's going to be the cancel cultured club. The cancel club.
Yeah.
The boys club.
Austin's pretty liberal, but Texas as a whole is no joke. So they'll have a lot more freedom there.
I played a lot of shows when I went to Austin. I was amazed at how much you could get up in one night, for sure. I felt that there was a PC-ness that I hadn't experienced before. Like, I played on the UT campus, and, you know, even if you just say, like, black guy in your joke, you kind of feel their, like, buttholes tense up, you know? And it's like, there's not one in the room, you know, like, so they're kind of like, it's just, they're so nervous about it because they don't have as much experience with it, I guess, because you know, I didn't see a lot. I used to live in Austin. And
oh, really?
Yeah, for a year, year and a half. But I wasn't doing comedy then.
What year did you get into comedy?
I'm a late bloomer to comedy. It wasn't until 2015.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still a baby comic.
Yeah.
You
so
know,
I discovered you in 2014. That's right. Okay.
It was 15.
Your big break was on the Truth or Theory podcast. Talking about Marilyn Monroe.
It's on my Wikipedia page.
I heard you go into this. It was pretty funny. I didn't hear the outcome of it. Did you ever say who the comedian was in your past with that funny story? Again, the Patreon link is patreon.com/here for the hang. You can hear me cancel myself daily for the low price of $5. I'm going to make a Patreon censor sign that's going to flash over you every time I hit something that's Patreon material. All right, Carlisle. You know I have to have 6 questions, so we're going to do 6 questions. And I did not give you these because I figured you probably watching my podcast. You know these questions already by heart. Yeah, so I know what's coming. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Number 1. What movie can you watch over and over without ever getting tired of? Oh, wow. Okay, so really random. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And I'm not dating myself. It was old when I was a kid, okay? So before you start saying, damn, how old are you, bitch? It's like an 80s, like, with Helen Hunt, Sarah Jessica Parker from Sex and the City, and it's like a musical dance movie. Any girl watching right now knows what I'm talking about. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Oh, my God. I quote it
I'm like a dude saying movie quotes only with that movie.
Is it a chick flick or can a guy enjoy it? Because I've never seen it.
You know, your girls would like it. It's a great, clean movie to show your
Oh,
girls.
is
It's
it?
about a dance competition.
Oh,
Yeah.
they love dance stuff. They
Yeah.
both think. Well, my oldest thinks she's a. She literally said, "Do you want to go do dance this year, or do you want to do gymnastics?" Because they both kind of had their own thing last year, and she said, "Well, probably gymnastics because I already know how to dance." That's she said
Oh,
that.
I love that confidence.
She thinks
She's
she
like, I
knows
got
all the
rhythm,
dance. Yeah,
Dad.
I got the dance. The dance has been mastered.
I could teach the damn class.
Yeah.
No, girls just want to have fun. They would love that movie, seriously,
All
and
right.
it's clean. There's no dirty parts.
All right. Well, Aunt Carlisle is gonna recommend a movie for my children.
Yeah.
Number 2. What's the best practical joke that you've played on someone or that has been played on you?
Oh my God, I'm not a practical joke person at all.
Pretty much every guest says that. What the hell?
Look, I
You
mean,
got to be surrounded by people that are just doing jokes on you or did a mean joke to you at some point in high school.
I have a younger brother, so like I have been pushed into
Oh,
my swimming pool when I'm in full hair, makeup, heels, dress, purse in my hand. Luckily, this is before cell phones, but that would have to be the worst. I mean, when you're walking out the door and somebody pushes you into a pool, that's a pretty bad joke.
yeah, that does suck.
Then only a brother could pull off and do.
Yeah, and still stay alive after.
That used to be like his gag. Like he was a young kid. He did it to our youth director one time when she just came over to the house. He thought it was funny. We're like, you can't do that.
What does he do for a living?
So he actually works for Winchester,
The
the
gun
ammo,
company? Oh,
the
really?
ammo.
Nice.
And also has a company that he owns because, you know, at the Ole Miss football games, you can't set up your own tent anymore. You have to hire an outside company to do it whenever you tailgate in the Grove. It's like one of the biggest schools for tailgating is Ole Miss, the SEC. Anybody in the SEC will tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Ole
It's
Miss
huge.
is the best.
Well,
And the Grove
let's see.
is this grove of trees. Well, for partying, I mean,
Yeah.
it's this grove of trees and in the center of campus, and everybody pitches a tent, okay? And most people don't even go to the football game. Most people sit in the tent because these tents are so elaborate. I mean, they have like chandeliers and they'll set up like a big screen TV in the tent so you can watch the game and sit in the grove and drink. That's what most people do. Like, or half the people will go to the game and half the people will stay in the tent. So, but they made a law that, like, you have to wait at 5 in the morning before the grove opens. There's like a rope. The cops come out and like shoot off like a flare gun or something, and then everybody runs to their spot and marks off a
crazy.
spot because there's no real estate. And it happens so early in the morning. Like, who's going to do that? So now you have to hire somebody. There's only certain companies that are licensed to go set it up. And of course, this year, I mean, you know, what are they going to do? They're not even going to be doing that this year. But normally, tailgating in the Grove is no joke. It's a big business thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
They had Matthew McConaughey come whenever he played, Ole Miss played UT, and he like flew into Oxford with this private jet, and like whatever company he got, they marked off like a whole half of the Grove, and it was just UT fans, and it was the biggest party you've ever seen.
Damn.
And when you come to Ole Miss to a football game, like the girls wear cocktail dresses and heels, and the guys wear, you know, suits and like ties. It's weird. It's a very old school tradition.
Yeah. I have some cousins from Mississippi, being a Louisiana girl that I am. So they're all, I think some of them went to Ole Miss, and they're all, oh, you're just going to jump on the table now, huh? They're all big into that stuff, too. It's a huge part of the culture down there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my boyfriend's got corona. You okay, babe?
What stage is he in?
He doesn't.
Yes, Tim.
It's a bong cough. Let's get real.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, what was the next question? Where are we at? Number 3?
Number
Okay.
3.
If you could time travel one time there and back, which time period would you choose? I think we may have asked you this
Oh my
in
gosh.
Truth or Theory's second appearance.
What did I say?
Probably something boring, but
Can I just go back in time and get my Tesla stock back? Because fuck, in 2011, That's where I would go back. I bought Tesla stock at $83. I remember it was
Did you really?
$83. I had
Nice.
about $1,500 worth of it,
You go back and invent Amazon.
and
Take it
I
from Jeff
sold it.
Bezos.
Oh my God, seriously. But
Dude
then,
has more money than money. Can you get off my
yeah,
mouse, please?
mo money, mo problems, I say.
Yeah, true that. True that, sister. Number
Hey,
4.
no cultural appropriation. This is 2020. They could separate that out and have you canceled tomorrow.
Fuck them. I'm not big enough. It's just my mom watching. Number
Oh, hi,
4.
Mom.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for watching. Love you. What is something that really irritates you?
Oh, gosh. I'm just really irritated by people that just, I'm just going to say it, like this cancel culture thing. Like all these people that can't see that people have good intentions and they want to take every little thing you say, every little joke you tweet and try to get you in trouble over it. It's such a thing you do whenever you don't have your own thing going on, you know?
Absolutely.
People that are trying to be social justice warriors, go get a life, you
Yes.
know? Go
Make
fucking
your own
start a
waves.
podcast.
Yeah. Wait, I feel like that was a dig.
No, don't. We
Yeah.
don't want the competition. Wait.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there'll be much competition there. I completely agree, though, man. That culture is an era of bullshit that we're living in right now that I think will soon be gone.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Yeah.
We shall see.
We shall see. Number 5. What is an item in your home that is special to you for sentimental reasons? And it can't be your boyfriend. It has to be an item.
Oh, that one's very easy. My grandmother gave me her jewelry box, and I guess before she died, whenever she kind of felt like her mind was starting to go, she went and wrote notes inside of all the things that meant something to her. So it has like a little note card. It's a jewelry box, just wooden, plain, and it has a note card in it that says that it was given to her whenever it was her senior year, and so gave them to all the senior girls, and it was made, at Chandler Furniture out of this, like, it's like the detail of like the place where it came from, and it means something to me that because otherwise we would have just found it and be like, oh, wooden box, you know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
really went around the house and made notes of like what everything was, and I saw that note, I was like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna take this, and now it's my jewelry box.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then someday
So
it'll be
if there was a
your
fire,
daughter's jewelry
that was
box.
one of the things that I grabbed whenever the riots came my way. It was photos, that box, because there was a fire surrounding this house. So I wasn't sure if it was
Really?
going to get to the building or not.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, sorry, we touched on that earlier, not to bring it back to bad topics.
Okay, let's see if we can recover this episode. The dark clouds that we just flew through.
Sorry.
I guess we'll go to the last question. Number 6.
I still have PTSD. It just comes in waves,
Yeah.
Okay, number 6 is...
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Oh, wow. All right. So a lot of y'all probably don't know this, but I'm also an actress. And for a long time, I was working harder at acting than comedy. And in doing that, I actually produced a film that got into the Cannes Independent Film Festival. And I still think of it as my crowning achievement. It's a short film, and you can actually see it online. It's called Now or Never. So if you go to my IMDb page, and I don't even know how this is possible. Meanwhile, I produced the movie, so I should know why. I don't know how to take it down. It's the whole 22-minute short is just on there. Like, it lives on IMDb. So please go watch it and check it out. It went to a lot of festivals. It got into like the Seattle Independent Film Festival. It won the Oxford Film Festival, my hometown film festival in Mississippi.
That's
And it
awesome.
got into Cannes Independent. And we went and represented the film in France. And that was one of my most bougie experiences in life, going and partying in Cannes on yachts and seeing, movies on the beaches of the south of France, like just living the high life.
That's awesome.
So it's called Now or Never, and you can see it under Carlisle Forrester's IMDb page. And it's just 22 minutes, and by the way, it's not that great, but no, it holds up. But just know that this was our first movie ever. Like, this was kind of our film school, you know,
What year was it?
I want to say 2011 or 12. It's like the year you make it, and then the year whenever it goes up online, it ends up being a year later. So I can't remember if it was 2011 or 12, but
Do you like it being free on IMDb, or would you want it pulled so you can put it on Patreon?
I mean, I don't mind at this point. I like that people can see it, and you know, we're proud of it. It's you know, it's just another credit at this point. I don't think you could make money off of it by putting it up. I'm not trying to sell this bad boy to IFC or anything. Meanwhile, get at me if you want that. No.
Support your local comedian.
Please, please. COVID got a bitch down.
I asked
No.
Mark Darman on the Truth or Theory podcast, what does he prefer to be labeled as, a comic or a comedian? Because I don't know. Obviously, I'm not one of those. I'm just a famous booker and talent agent. I got
Well,
a household name.
I always think of comedian pertaining more to acting as well as stand-up. So I'm going to say comedian, because when I think comic, I think road comic, like road dog, and that's definitely not what I am yet. You know, I mean, sometimes I'm lucky enough to go out and open for Nikki Glazer, Chris Frangiola, you know, or Bobby Lee. But for the most part, I'm not really like on the road. And I definitely audition and, you know,
Yeah.
act. So I think I'm a comedian.
That's kind of the tie of it, huh? Is the comedian
Yeah.
is the one who's funny in movies.
Comedic actress.
Comedic?
Huh?
Fancy. Okay. Well, that concludes my questions, Carlisle. I appreciate you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Little kitty cat, if you could get off my notepad, make sure I got everything. Okay. Where can my mom find you and support you?
Okay, Mom. So you guys are going to want to check me out on Instagram. It's Carlisle Forrester, Carlisle. You got to put the S in because it's silent. People don't know. Carlisle Forrester. Here for the Hang is the show. And you can also follow us on Instagram and be, you know, our 15th follower on there because we're just getting started. There it is. This week's going to be a banger week, y'all. This next episode, we got Nikki Glazer. Then, as I teased earlier, we're going to be talking with Stevie Blue Eyes about all this coronavirus stuff that he beat it. So I'm very interested to hear how, right? I want to talk to everybody that's come out on the other side of this thing and be like, What did you do?
Yeah. I can't even say that medication that everybody keeps talking about, hydrochloroquine.
You know, we know you need hooked on phonics. It's all right. You get a pass.
It took me about 6 months to learn how to say your first name.
Damn it.
So Carlisle
who's worse
Forrester,
at speaking, me or Brendan Shaw?
he's
We both
gonna.
have speech impediments.
I always say his name wrong, Brendan Schwab, and everybody makes fun of me. But he just kind of seems like a Schwab.
Brandon Schwabe.
So Here for the Hang is on YouTube, and also Patreon. Here for the Hang.
Go
The
get that
podcast.
Patreon. My cat's just staring
Yeah.
at you. You can't tell, but she's just looking directly at your spot.
I love it. She can feel I'm a cat lover.
Who's this lady? Are you a cat lover? A lot of people
Oh
don't like
yeah.
cats.
Oh my God. This is why I'm so crazy right now. Hang on one second. Look, this is why I'm so bad. I'm away from my emotional support animals. Look at that.
Bean. What's
I'm
up,
that
Bean?
bitch. They're in
Where's he
Mississippi.
at? Oh,
Both of them. They're like living their best lives.
Avery. It's a good name.
And sorry, there's like literal resin on this. Okay, but
Raw.
you know, I'm about to be
Unfiltered
reunited
podcast.
with these guys.
Are you going to bring him back?
No, I just go to Mississippi and see them. After they've lived the good life at the Forrester Oasis, I can't take them from that. That's
Yeah.
so mean. They have a pool, they have woods, they have another dog to play with, they have deer to watch. Do you
Yeah,
put a
they-
salt lick out in your yard, Willie?
Do I?
Yeah, you should put a salt lick out. My dad does it.
We have elk and all kinds of stuff out here too.
Families of deer, elk, I guess probably would like it too. But it's fun. It's cuter because like they bring their babies when you do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, there she goes. She's gonna turn my computer off. She's trying to sniff your little box on there. It's like there's a lady stuck in your fucking computer right now. All right, look up, Quincy. Let's tell her bye.
Quincy.
She's
Meow.
little Quincy Jones.
Little Quince. Adorable.
So those pretty green eyes. You little snobby
Oh,
bitch.
wow, she does.
Look at that snobby face. All right.
Gorgeous.
Thanks for coming on, Carlisle.
Thank you so
Look
much for
forward to
having
the
me.
next time you're on Truth or Theory as well. I wanted to get you on this one because this one it needs some help, let's be honest. It needs a Carlisle booster in it.
We'll see.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye, Quincy. All right.